Have you ever started a gel print that looked really boring and you were frustrated with it? Me too. But what if I told you that just a few extra layers could turn it into something amazing? I'm Christy Hartman and welcome back to my studio. Let's dive into layered gel plate printing using two fun stencils, Prickly Thorns from pmartiststudio, and the other one that we're going to use today is Cacti, which is my design from pmartiststudio. I'm going to be building up backgrounds today with multiple layers, experimenting with ombre effects, and rescuing a boring print, which I'm going to call Gel Plate Rehab. Let's explore that fusion of two stencils in a single print, which creates a dynamic assortment of shapes, texture, visual rhythm, and in this case, the organic feel of Prickly Thorns, while the structured form of Cacti introduces contrast and focal interest. Together, they blend seamlessly, yet also allow for intentional tension that brings the print to life. If you're into mixed media, gel printing, or just love watching prints transform layer by layer, you're in the right place. Let's jump in and get printing. So let's start with this one. This is what it looks like. It's huge. It's a 9 by 12 inch size and it has lots and lots of detail. Let's start out with this Lumiere Metallic Olive, and it has airbrush medium in it. And we're on the 5 by 7, so we're only going to use part of this. Let's take a white piece of paper. This is actually sulfite drawing paper. This is a little different than what I usually use, so we're going to see how this works. Ooh, that pulled off really nicely. Look at that. And let's pull this off. And then we will let that dry. I'm going to pull this with this orange, this PBO iridescent orange. And then my plan, and hopefully this works out, is to take this cacti over the top of all of this. Ooh, that turned out really nicely. That is super, super cool. I think we're going to go over this with phthalo blue red shade. Not bad. Okay. Let's pull that off. Let's grab this. That's going to be spectacular. I think I love that. Let's do this again, and this time let's use the airbrush medium with the pearl blue. That is gorgeous. Let's pull this one with copper, the iridescent copper fine. That'll be lovely. Let's cover, this is the 9 by 12. Let's cover the entire plate with iridescent copper fine. gosh, look at how that prints. Beautiful. But let's grab a piece of deli paper to pull off some more of this. Okay, next, let's go over it with the pearl blue. And we're just going to leave this stencil right where it's at. And we're going to let that dry. Beautiful. Let's pull this with iridescent bright gold fine. Let's use a little Quin Nico Azo gold and let's glaze over the top of this one and this one. We're going to add some color to these white sections. We're going to do an ombre, and we're going to put Indian yellow on either side. I want it to be pretty thin, so we're not going to put a ton of paint, and alizarin crimson in the center. And it kind of obliterated the center, but I actually really kind of like it. I left a little transfer here, so let's see if we can get that pulled up. Since we have those paints on our plate, let's do it again. Ooh, very, very pretty. I love that. And we did get just a little bit more of it. Do I want to pull this up? I think I do. Okay, that will have to dry. All right, this one I really kind of love, but it's not, it's kind of faint. So I thought we might jazz it up a bit, and I think we'll use this Lumiere, and it has airbrush medium in it, so I can usually get it fairly thin. Oh yeah, no, there we go. It definitely made everything much, much lighter. It kind of muted everything, but I actually really, really like it. Let's try to mask out around the cacti on this. And let's use Prussian blue. And I'm going to add a little bit more paint. Let's take this, let's go right over the top of this. Okay, I got quite a bit. Quite a bit came up. Okay, let's pull this off. Set that off to the side. Let's grab this one. Turn this over. I think I want it to go like this. There we go. Yeah, that's going to look nice in the middle. Not too bad, not too shabby. Let's try going over this one, which is the ombre, with halo pink gold that has the airbrush medium in it. And I want this to be fairly thin. Look at that. Look at that pink rosy glow. Isn't that spectacular? I like that well enough. Let's try it again. Same thing. That seemed to be just the right amount of paint. Oh my goodness. Oh, I love that. Oh my goodness, I am so in love with that. All right, let's let those two dry. This one, I'm actually really disappointed in. It is actually a little bit boring. So let's try something. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. Doesn't matter. Let's add this metallic olive that has airbrush medium in it over the top of this, and let's just see what happens. All right, let's see. Moment of truth. Okay, well, that's not fantastic. Gave it a little bit more of a, almost a forest green up here. And this is kind of boring. My arty friends, this is how you rescue a print that is not, that you're not satisfied with. I'm going to show you how to fix this. Let's use the 5x7. Let's go back over the top of it with gold. So let's take our iridescent bright gold fine. This is the way our stencil is going to sit, but I can't put it on there that way. I'm going to flip it over because it will reverse, and then I think we'll just put it over the top of this. Let's see if I can line this up. Okay, it's very, very subtle, but I actually kind of really like that. Look at that. Look at how it's just added a little more gold to this. We're going to leave some of that gold on there. We're going to take that. This may not work. I don't know. We'll see. Let's line this up as well. And let's let that sit and see if it did anything. Right. I think we can pull most of this up. Okay, well, now I like that. And I think once we let that dry, we can enhance that a little bit more. All right, this is dry. It's still, even though I like it a little bit better, it's still very underwhelming. I think it needs a dark blue. So we're going to use the Prussian, and this may not work, folks. All right, again, we need to pay attention to how we're going to lay our stencil. So our stencil actually fits just like this. So we're going to flip this over because we have to have the reverse. All right, let's pull this off. Let's bring this over. And this is where acrylic blocks for your gel plates are so handy. All right, let's lay this down. I don't know, we'll see. This is our rehab print. Let's see if we can pull it off. Oh yeah, it's coming off. Now, actually that is really pretty cool. I'd like this a little darker though. I don't know if I can get it just a little darker. Let's try it one more time. Let's try the phthalo blue red shade. It's just a little bit more of an intense blue. Right about there. Okay, I think we may have done it. Just patience and persistence, my friends. Let's let that sit. That might be super cool. Well, that took multiple layers. And I wasn't so sure we'd get it accomplished, but I kind of love it. And we're going to use the Lucas Krill Peach in the center. And then on one end, let's use the Arctic, and on the other side, let's use the Arctic. That might be super cool. All right, we'll wait for this to dry. That's a wrap for today's gel plate adventure. From prickly textures to layered ombre goodness. I had so much fun today exploring two very different stencils. They came together in unexpected ways. One brings that organic feel, which encourages the feeling of movement, while Cacti adds structure and focus. And when they layer up, magic happened. I hope you're feeling inspired to give your own prints a second chance or even a third chance. If you had a favorite layer today or a print from today's session that you loved, drop it into the comments below. I'd love to hear what stood out to you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you don't miss the next round of gel printing videos that I put out. Until then, stay creative and keep layering. I'll see you in my next video.